Ivan Chan, welcome to the 5th Schoenfeld International String Competition. Welcome to Harbin.
Thank you very much.
Is this your first time in Harbin?
Indeed it is.
So now with being at the conservatory, what comment a little bit about being in this theater that we're in and everything that you've seen so far here.
I mean, first of all, the entire campus is so grand, and the design is really, I wasn't expecting something on this scale. It's really beyond beautiful. I think it's a little bit like a fairy tale to me. I think it's unusual, very unusual, classic kind of Romanesque almost style, if you will. And the hardware, the halls are wonderful. The small recital hall I like very much as well. There's intimacy in there that I think lends itself well to the recital programs, for example. Yeah.
So now we're in the Schoenfeld competition right now. So tell us a little bit about your impressions of the competition and from what you've seen of Harbin, the kind of the marriage of both this competition and what you think it means for the city.
Well, I think, Harbin has a tradition with Russia, a grand tradition with great old historic tradition with Russia, with the West, if you will. And I think being here and hearing, all these wonderful repertoire, really brings on the flavor of the combination of West and the East. And I was born in Hong Kong, but I was trained in the U.S. And just to see this relationship here in Harbin, I think it's quite inspiring.
So now you yourself as a violinist, you've done very well in competitions yourself in Indianapolis and Washington and in Texas. So what advice would you give if someone said, Mr. Chan, I want to enter the Schoenfeld competition? What would you tell them?
It's a little pedantic, but be prepared. And it's a very deep level. I think I've heard all my wonderful colleagues pretty much saying the same thing. And every single contestant I've heard thus far really have very brilliant moments in their playing. Of that, I have no doubt. And to say it simplistically, can you hold that brilliance from when you walk off stage to when you walk off? I think that's really the big difference. That's when one gets the most out of this type of experience.
So now as a jury member, and after having competed and won different competitions, talk a little bit more about what you look for in a violinist.
Sure. It's where their personal voice is a strong one, and it's not necessarily what pleases me personally as a juror, although of course musicality accounts for a lot. But certain things I almost want to say I take for granted, because if you don't reach a certain area, you wouldn't be here in the first place. So, but it's whether that's delivered in a very convincing manner during their time on stage. And if I'm convinced, whether it's the way I feel personally or not, that's what I like. That's what I look for. Yeah.
Talk a little bit about what you feel is the importance of competitions, and because you yourself have entered them, of course, and on the international stage, how can that help someone, and how can the Schoenfeld help these young musicians?
Well, I think on the most personal level, for development of one's artistry, really, I don't think you come to a competition to compete with other human beings. You're here to challenge yourself. It's your moment to say whether, I'm up to this challenge of achieving this standard. And once again, if it's a platform like the Schoenfeld, it's a pretty known standard, and you prepare for that standard And the standard's always, the bar's always raising,
Yeah.
as we know. That's how it should be. So I think that is the single most important thing. And then there's the other side of meeting new friends, reconnecting with old friends, really developing lifelong friendship and acquaintances under this really stressful yet revealing atmosphere. And it really it's like a family that keeps growing. I really feel that.
Yeah. Well, wise words. And
Oh.
Ivan Chan, thank you so much
Thank you.
for joining us
Thank
in
you.
Harbin
My
and
pleasure.
to the Schoenfeld competition.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.